Assalamualaikum to Puan Nurul ARIFAH binti ISMAIL, our lecturer. So today we want to present our problem-based task for Open Source Server Administrator. My name is VOUNICA ABBASRI binti BAKAR and my metric number 21DDT20F2058.
My name is NURHAZIRAH Izzati binti MUHAMMED HALIMNAZRI and my metric number 21DDT20F2065.
For introduction, a small independent company, which is Pro IT Solution Enterprise, consisting of an owner, an IT administrator, and 4 staff occupies half of a small building in an office park. As the volume of business has been increasing recently, the management decides to improve the current system used for sharing files between departments and staff. The company owner decides to use an open source solution for file sharing services as it is zero in cost and available as a freeware. So we use 2 open source terminals in a virtual machine, which is VMware, and perform the file sharing between this terminal as a server and a client. So the picture in left is the terminal for server and the right one is the terminal for client. So firstly, we use command ifconfig to get an IP address, but our terminal does not have. So we configure our IP address at both terminals, client and server. So for client, the command is ifconfig eth0 and we use IP address 192.198.38.137 and also the net mask 255.255.255.0 up. And then we check the IP address using the command ifconfig. And it shows the IP address that we created before. We did the same thing for server using IP address 192.168.38.136. So step 1, on the NFS server, open terminal and run the command. So NFS stands for Network File System, which it enables system admin to share all or a portion of file network to make it accessible to remote computer users. So first of all, after we enter the password, we run the command rpm-q nfs-kernel-server to check whether the NFS package has been installed or not. And then we also check the yas2 using the same command. And the output shows that the NFS package has not installed yet. If not, install the NFS package using CLI command. So the command is yas2-i. And then after we install the NFS package, we recheck again using the same command, which is rpm-q nfs-kernel-server. Step 2, we create the system startup links for the NFS server and start it. So the command is service rpc bind restart and it will be redirecting to systemctl. And then the command chkconfig --add rpc bind. The next command is service nfs server start and it will redirecting to systemctl. chkconfig --add nfs server. So these two commands is to create the system startup link. And then to start the NFS server, the command is service nfs start. And chkconfig --add NFS. Step 3. On the NFS client, we can install NFS as follows. So the first command is to check whether package has been installed or not. We use the same command like before, which is rpm-q nfs-client. So the output shows that NFS package in client has been installed. And then this command is to check whether the installation is successful or not. So the output shows that the installation is successful.
So for the step 4, exporting directories on the server. So on the NFS server, make the directories /data server accessible to the client. Therefore, we must export them on the server. So in the server terminal, we apply command syntax. First cd /data server, and we got into the directories data server. So the output no such file or directory because we do not have do not have installed yet the command. So we create another directories, which is the command mkdir /data server. So we got into the data server with the command syntax cd /data server. Next, then modified /etc/exports where we export our NFS shares on the server terminal. We specify /home and /var/nfs as NFS shares and tell NFS to make access to /home as root. So we use the command syntax vi/etc/export to the export the file sharing between client and server. So for the step 5, mounting the NFS share on the client. We create the directories where we want to mount the NFS share. So we create another directories, which is mkdir-p/data client. On the client can try to create test file on the NFS share, which is we want to share file between terminal client and terminal server. So the command syntax touch/data client/pbtosa.txt. So this is the full syntax in the terminal. So for the figure below. Afterwards, we check mounter folder from the server from successful or not in the client terminal. So we provide the command syntax show mount -d. So this is IP for the server IP 192.968.38.136, which is we not successful because of we config ourselves IP address. Next, on the client, mount the folder to the server as follows, which is the command syntax mount the server IP, which is 192.168.38 and also on .1136 and double dots and /data server /data client. On the client, you should now see the two NFS share in the output of, which is in the terminal client. We not successful because with the IP address. On the server, set the file permission to allow changes on /data server directories. which is give a full permission on the terminal client, on the terminal server. And then create again file name pbtosa.txt on the client PC. The command syntax touch /data client /pbtosa.txt. And the last step, testing the NFS shell on the client. On the server, check if you can see both test file. If we unsuccessful because of the IP address we config ourselves, so it can share between the share file between two terminal Linux. So the command syntax if successful ls-l/data server. So the output can the total not zero lah. Example successful file sharing between client and server with the figure below. So for the conclusion, we got to know the step-by-step about file sharing between two terminal in Linux, which is client and server. We decide to use an open source solution for file sharing services because of zero cost and available as a freeware. We couldn't complete some parts of this PBT because of our terminal OpenSUSE doesn't provide an IP address automatically. And the last one, we hope our next assessment would be complete successful without any problems. Thank you from both of us.